Now, there are 7 keys. There are 7 things you need to apply, that you need to understand before you can tell yourself that, okay, I know that joy is here. Before you can get into that place of understanding of how you can derive joy, there are 7 things you need to know. The first thing you need to understand is you need to identify. Of course, we've been identifying all our lives. We know, but the identification I'm trying to tell you here is the identification of who you are. The identification of I am. I am. I need you to tell yourself over and over again, repetitively, that you are. I am that I am. I am that I am. Now, this is not coming from a place of ego. Now, there's a thin line. Some people use the word I am from an egoistic perspective. No, we are not talking about ego here. We are talking about the fact that, that is your nature. Your nature is I am. You are connected to all things. So now, in my story about addiction, when I started realizing that whatever is in that cannabis is in me already, that was the first thing that broke me away from addiction. Is first of all the realization that I am. Whatever is in that substance, whatever the validation I'm trying to get, is already in me. Like, it was actually discovered that the substance in cannabis, which is tetrahydrocannabinol and cannabidiol, whatever the substance is in you. Yes, it's in part of our brain. It's there. But unfortunately, these chemicals are dormant. They are not being put to use. And how is it dormant? Is as a result of the feeling of being stuck. Your job is to actually come to that state where you go there yourself, go to that place within you and remove those blocks, remove all those things that are blocking the flow of desire. So identification, which is the I am, is the first thing you need to understand. I am. You need to know that I am. I am that I am. That God that is out there is not bigger or greater than the one that is in me. In fact, the one that is in me is greater than the one that is out there. Another thing you need to know is that I use this example a lot. This ocean that you are seeing here right now, is I am a drop from the ocean. So the ocean is in that drop. Yes, I can't tell myself now that I am, of course, a drop of the ocean. It's not the entire ocean, but the entire ocean is in the drop. That is who you are. What makes an ocean is what is in that drop. Do you understand? Now, before I even go further, there's another thing you need to understand. Just dropped on my mind right now, that you need to understand that there should be brain and heart coherence. When I say brain and heart coherence, what I mean is that there must be unity between your mind and your soul. Your mind and your soul must come into unity, must come into a place of unity, a place of communion, a place of fellowship, a place of atonement. The day I understood the word atonement, man, I was my mind was really it was a revelation to me. I realized that the word atonement is at one meant, to be at one. To atone means to be at one. So it means that your soul and your mind must be at one. Your body and your mind must be at one. Your heart and your brain must be at one. They must be atoned. They must stick together. They must work together. If they don't work together, then there will be chaos. The reason why you are feeling chaos, the reason why there's so much chaos within you, is because there is no atonement. There is no oneness between your mind and your soul. So definitely there's going to be disorder. And what is order? Order is the state of, when you are in the state of order, you are in state of high vibration. Everybody wants to, part of some of the things I'll be talking about in my subsequent videos is how to be high. The truth is, everybody wants to be high, and that high vibration is who you are. That reminds me of the scripture. The Bible says that we are seated with Christ in high places. You are high. You understand? But you have been sold this illusion of being low. No, you are not low, you are high. You are already seated with heaven, with Christ in high places. You are already in that high state. But now you have accepted the illusion. You have accepted the feeling of being low. So depression is something that you invited into you. Even yes, you invited it to you, then you can let it out. You can let it go. Now, someone said something that attachment is the root of suffering. Most of us are attached to our feelings. We are attached to our what we believe. We are so attached to what we believe that sometimes when we see something superior, or when we encounter something that is different from what you believe, even though you know that what you have encountered now is actually far better or far greater than what you believe, but because of your attachment to what you think you believe, then it debars you from entering into the field of the unknown. Because now that other thing that you are supposed to embrace, it is unknown to you. There's a tendency for you to want to shove it aside and say, no, this is not for me. You must be willing, you must be ready to come into that state of unknown and detach yourself from beliefs that are not serving your purpose, that are not serving God's purpose for your life. And this is one of the problems that many of us are facing. We are attached to beliefs, we are attached to mindsets, we are attached to some way of seeing life that is actually debarring us, that is actually blocking that flow. These are part of the blocks I'm talking about, beliefs. You must be ready to detach yourself and take off some of those beliefs that are distorting the flow of joy. And we can move to the next thing, which is to feel. You need to feel it. Now I want to ask you, I talked about I am, right? I want to ask you now, do you feel it? You need to feel that you are. And how do you come to the place of feeling? Well, many people want to feel, right? And that is why we use external validation, right? Among Ravi Navikant, Naval Ravikant, Naval Ravikant said something, I saw it on YouTube one day, and he said, the devil is cheap dopamine. The devil is actually cheap dopamine. Most of us, we want to get that dopamine without having to do what is necessary, what you are supposed to do. Many people don't want to exercise, many people don't want to read, we don't want to meditate, we don't want to go through some of these processes so that we can tap into the wellspring of dopamine. But we want to get that cheap dopamine, and cheap dopamine actually means trying to get joy from external things, from smoking, from quote unquote making money, from making sure that you have money in your account, and so now that you have money in your account, now you are joyful. From sex, or for some people it's sex. If you don't have sex, you can't be joyful. You can't get into that wellspring of dopamine. If you can't, in many like that, so now feel. Can you feel it? And how do you feel? It's as simple. You see, the soul is the seat of feelings. You understand? So now, what happens is that your mind and your soul, the unity that I was talking about the other time, the unity of the mind and the soul, the mind has its own language, the soul also has its own language. Both of them need to merge. Now, you are feeling certain way, but your thinking is different. You will still not achieve it. For example, if you are feeling depressed, but you are thinking about joy, you are thinking about high state of emotion, it is okay. You can actually use your thoughts to change your feeling, but it will take some level of consistency. It will take a level of repetitive usage of those thoughts. In fact, let me make you understand that thoughts are beyond words, but you can start with words. You can start with words of good, right? That's why we call it the words of God. You know, the word gospel means God's spell. It also means the spell of good, glad tidings of good. So you can take thoughts of good. Even the Bible says that the thoughts I have towards you are thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. And what is that expected end? You need joy. You need to come to a high state of vibration. That is what we're expecting. So you can actually take thoughts of good and literally you can repeat it over and over and over again. If you check my previous videos, I talked about the fact that if your thoughts can make you sick, then your thoughts can make you well. So with the application of thoughts, you can convert it to feelings. When the thoughts have gone into your soul over a period of time, you've done it repetitively, it has become your lifestyle, then your soul traps it. The soul is magnetic. It traps that thought and turns it to feelings. Then you start feeling good. You start feeling well. You don't need external validation again. You don't need attention. You don't need drugs again. You know, as a result of hearing. Now that's why the Bible even says that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the words of good. So you can't separate faith from feelings. You see, the truth is, when the Bible says that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. What is the thing? So how do you know that you have something if you don't feel that you have something? It starts from feeling that you know that you have it. It starts from know. Yes, knowing is it. You must know, even though you don't have it physically, but you know. So feelings is a gateway. You must be able to feel that you have it. And for you to feel that you have it, it all starts from your mind. You must start thinking about it. You must deliberately start thinking about it. Then you can now generate the feeling of that thing. You can generate the feeling of joy from within. All I'm trying to tell you now is that you have the power to generate that feeling is right within you. That God factor is in you. Yes, you can. I'm not trying to tell you that you don't look for or go to church to, that's not the point. Whatever you do outside there, always remember that God is within you. You can get that feeling within you, irrespective of the external things that is going on around you. So in my next episode, I'm going to share with you I talked about 7, right? So there are remaining 5 other things that you can apply. So in the next episode, I'm going to be sharing the 5 other ones. Thank you very much for watching. I love you.